Everybody wants to tell me about this defense. This team's going as far as Aaron Rodgers is going to take them.
Steelers, it's your own fault. Don't get mad that we noticed that you stink. Stop stinking. It's not our fault that we pointed out what was happening. I hate that. I hate that. How dare you point out that we're not any good this year?
I'm telling you, he has not played this well, in my opinion, since his MVP season. He is moving way, way better than he did in New York. This team is Aaron Rodgers. It's not Tomlin. It's not the defense. It's Aaron. And right now he's playing like a top 10 quarterback.
The Steelers are a team whose offseason indicated they were going all in on 2025, but it seemed like their play never quite matched that ambition. 5 straight first-round playoff exits doesn't bode well for Super Bowl ambitions, and with Mike Tomlin still at the helm, it seemed that more of the same was in store for Steelers fans. But now, this team looks completely different in 2025. With the best quarterback play since Big Ben in his prime, a defense that is finally playing up to its price tag, and a grittiness to see out big games. And because of those reasons, and everything we're going to go over in today's video, is exactly why these Pittsburgh Steelers are a serious threat to the rest of the NFL. Now, K-Rich crew, we are back for another banger. As always, throwing on the Steelers hat. Got a little throwback piece here. Old Steelers logo, got the Steelers logo on the side. I need to start reading up on these hats, but we'll get there. I got 32 right now. We got all the teams. I gotta wear all of them first, but as always, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know as well, as I said in the video that you guys are gonna see this upcoming weekend. Make sure you guys are throwing comments down in the comment section what you guys want to see, more videos. If you guys have any recommendations of players of who we should do for our NFL Legends Think series, let me know down there. And if I do select your video, I will make sure to post your comment in our intros for those videos. I'll pop it up over here, something saying that you were the one that gave us a suggestion. Our Discord is always open, and Instagram as well. You can message me over there. Make sure to check those out as well. Links in the description below. And now with all of that out of the way, I cannot wait to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers because truthfully, I haven't been a big Steelers believer, but I've always thought that they are a solid enough team, and they've always proved it going 9-8 every single season, that they get into the playoffs and they're just a team that you typically don't want to play, especially if you have to go to Pittsburgh. It's a scary team you have to play in your first round in the wild card round. But at the same time too, the Steelers are a team really in this 2025 season too, that we've seen a lot of mood swings, if you want to call it that, from just everybody around the league. Nobody knows or really can think of what this Steelers team is going to do 1 week there and 1 week here. 1 week they look like Super Bowl contenders. The next week they look like a terrible team, especially with this defense, how it's been playing. But we're going to cover all of that now. But again, 2025 has just been a very confusing year for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Even after an embarrassing collapse to the Green Bay Packers in prime time in week 8, a loss to the Red Hot Colts seemed all but pretty much inevitable. And yes, forget about the bizarre offsides no call at a crucial point in the game, but the bottom line was that the Steelers were manhandled in the second half and drowned out in their own stadium.
I've heard that chant for 18 years, so Packer fans travel really well. First time in a while I'd use silent count for a home game. It's a credit to those Packer fans.
Not only did the decision to go with a 41-year-old quarterback finally start to sound like a bad idea, but the $160 million per year that they spent on their defense was an abject just kind of waste of money. Through 8 weeks, they ranked 30th in total defense and dead last in pass defense, which is even worse when you remember the blockbuster trade for Jalen Ramsey, who was meant to save this secondary. And then after you remember too that they got absolutely fried by just Joe Flacco in week 7, yeah, the alarm bells in just Steelers headquarters were absolutely ringing. Even the Bengals star wideout Jamar Chase, after putting up 161 receiving yards and a score on this supposedly elite defense, went on to call them out as super predictable in his post-game interview.
Are you surprised at all at the way Pittsburgh played? You've played them so many times. And we've seen you do this to Baltimore, but we've only seen you do this to Pittsburgh. Anything the way that they were playing surprised?
Got a lot of man. They doubled on third down for real. Try to mix it up a little bit, but no, they did exactly what we was expecting and hoping they'd do.
So then when this unit got shredded to pieces for 35 points in the second half against Green Bay after shutting them out in the first, Steelers fans were all too familiar with disappointment at that scale. And that's where kind of all of the blame got shifted to their defensive coordinator and Terrell Austin. and just kind of for his game planning. But then on top of that too, a lot of it was blamed on Mike Tomlin, who, as we all know, is a very defensive, just minded coach. And then on top of that too, he was being criticized for playing just much more conservatively than he should have played in the second half of that Packers game. And I think with Tomlin too, it's safe to say that his effect of just him winning his Super Bowl, what was it, 2010? So it's been 15 years now. I think it's kind of worn off now, and Steelers fans and just the Steelers organization are not putting him on the hot seat necessarily, but they need to see some more progression, especially in the postseason where he hasn't had a lot of success in recent years. So I think it's safe to say too that change was needed, and it needed to happen fast. Even according to Aaron Rodgers, the catalyst for that change wasn't one of the coaches, but actually Jalen Ramsey. He gave an impassioned speech the night before their Week 9 clash with the Colts.
I noticed that something kind of changed last night when Jalen spoke, and it's not easy to speak in front of the team even when you're a player. It's unnatural. I think coaches are used to it because they do it every single day, and Mike is fantastic at it. But Jalen kind of went on and had the attention of the room, and he said some really, really good stuff. I'm not going to get into it because I feel like that it's kind of need to know information. But it was meaningful to me on the offensive side, and I feel like we had a different energy in the locker room today.
And that's the thing too, the different energy was on full display in this Week 9 clash. November 2nd also just so happened to be the day that they commemorated the 20th anniversary of their Super Bowl 40 triumph. So of course, with some of the franchise's just greatest players ever in gold jackets and just in attendance for that game, how could this defense not turn up for this game? Like, I mean, that's the thing too. After all, that 05 Steelers team won the Super Bowl on the back of that defense. And look, the day did not start too hot for them either, with Indiana Jones driving the Colts 79 yards downfield in 5 minutes for a touchdown on their opening possession. I mean, even when the special teams gifted Pittsburgh the chance to redeem themselves after a 3-and-out by recovering a muffed punt, Rodgers and company turned the ball over on 4 downs at the Colts 4-yard line. And it was just truthfully brutal stuff to be seeing at the beginning of this game, where a lot of people weren't expecting them to win. And it was the complete opposite of what we saw in the Packers game, where they started off strong. They more so were just kind of stinking it up from the beginning against the Colts. As the Colts did march into Steelers territory though, TJ Watt finally made his presence felt, getting a strip sack on Daniel Jones, recovered of course by Pittsburgh, and this time the offense didn't squander their opportunity as Jaylen Warren punched it in for 7. On the ensuing drive too, Peyton Wilson picked off Daniel Jones for yet another turnover, which the offense converted into 7 more points before the Colts went 3-and-out, allowing Chris Boswell to close out the half with a chip shot field goal to give the hosts a 2-lead score. After exchanging punts too, there was another pass intercepted as Peyton Wilson tipped the ball straight into the hands of rookie edge rusher Jack Sawyer. One last time, the offense turned this into 7 points to take a commanding 3-score lead. The defense did allow some garbage time scores, which did afford the Colts a flattering 27-20 scoreline, but the game had long been wrapped up. Like through and through, this was just pretty much belt to ass the entire game. After 3 weeks without a turnover, this defense forced 6 in one game, and the offense was doing its part by turning them into scores. And look, they didn't just do it against any team. This is the 2025 Indianapolis Colts we're talking about as one of the most explosive offenses in NFL history. So I think a lot of people are asking, how the hell did they make such a big jump from week to week? And well, I think besides the fact of just Dick LeBeau being in the building and Jalen Ramsey's pregame speech, it was simply just coaching adjustments that helped make this just so much of a difference for this defense.
They cut the amount of single high they played on first down in half. They played way more quarters, and I thought that unpredictability, what are you smiling about? I thought that unpredictability actually confused Indianapolis, because you went in that thinking this team is going to annihilate their single high, and then it wasn't what they were presenting to them.
And now look, I know, yes, changing it up when things aren't working, that does sound pretty obvious, I know. But still, Mike Tomlin has made a point to sticking to his plan throughout the season, blaming execution for the defense's shortcomings on multiple occasions. And even when he was asked about the adjustments, he said this.
It's a fine line between drinking wine and squashing grapes in this business. It's nothing dramatic, it's really not. And that's why we respect it so much. A couple plays here and there, it might have been different last week. We don't give up a 59-yard ball to 33-yard ball. We don't let them convert on 4th and 1 in the flat, for example, in the third quarter. That's football at this level. It's a limited number of plays or sequences that can really change the trajectory of an outcome. We're still the same group that stunk it up last week. That's football.
But that's the thing too, Pittsburgh taking away the Colts' ability to lean on the pass on first downs was crucial to slowing down the hottest offense in the NFL. The defense had a few decent performances earlier in the season, but this was no doubt the coming out party. A game like this one lifts some weight off of their shoulders, and the rest of the league had to watch what they were capable of doing against the very best of them. Future Hall of Famer JJ Watt, who no doubt has some insider information on these Steelers because of his brother, highlighted the importance of putting on this kind of show from a player's perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a big XCL for this defense. I mean, those guys in that locker room know. They see the stats. They know the numbers. They know that they've been playing extremely poorly. So to go out there today and put on a performance like that in front of that 2005 Super Bowl team, it just kind of immediately reminded everybody what that Steelers standard is supposed to be like. And I think that doing it against the #1 offense who's doing such incredible things was certainly a statement. Now they have to try and carry that forward and continue it.
But look, here's the thing too. The Steelers, they don't win this game. I mean, hell, they're not even 5-3 if this offense isn't showing up week in and week out like they have been. As we all know, last season we saw Justin Fields and Russell Wilson splitting starting duties, and while their records suggest things were fine, anyone who watched the games knew just how much this defense carried the offense. Even after sustaining the losses of George Pickens and Najee Harris this offseason, Aaron Rodgers has stepped in and made this offense a major problem. Through 9 weeks of the season, he has the third most passing touchdowns with 17 and is top 10 in passer rating, completion percentage, and touchdown percentage. That's with DK Metcalf as his top receiver, while the tight end trio of Pat Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith, and Darrell Washington have this Arthur Smith offense running at peak efficiency. Jaylen Warren has also stepped into the lead back role admirably, embodying the toughness and grit that Steelers fans love, while Calvin Austin has been a viable wide receiver too as he battles through a shoulder injury. The offensive line has been able to stay healthy for the most part too, with second-year right tackle Troy Fontenot appearing to take a big step up in 2025. The main concern does come with their Pro Bowl left guard, who was pulled from the contest against the Colts due to injury. Thankfully though, his replacement Spencer Anderson is much more capable of filling in, having done so on multiple occasions throughout his 3 years in the league. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it all comes down to the quarterback for the Steelers, and in this case, it's Aaron Rodgers. He's obviously better than what he showed when he was with the Jets, but now on what appears to be his farewell tour, the vet is still sharp as ever. I mean, hell, even according to some, this team is his to lose.
Everybody wants to tell me about this defense. This team's going as far as Aaron Rodgers is going to take them. 9 different guys caught the ball, tied for third in touchdown passes. I'm telling you, he has not played this well, in my opinion, since his MVP season. He is moving way, way better than he did in New York. This team is Aaron Rodgers. It's not Tomlin. It's not the defense. It's Aaron. And right now he's playing like a top 10 quarterback.
And now look, that is some high praise, but look, we all know how good Aaron Rodgers is when he's playing his best. Like, easily top 5 quarterback in the league when he's at his best. And just kind of thinking that he can't take this team very far is just downright stupid. I'm not saying we're expecting him to put the team on his back in the same way he did for the Packers at times, but Rodgers is a drastic improvement over what Pittsburgh had in 2024. He knows how to deliver in the clutch with the second most fourth quarter touchdowns this season behind only Bo Nix. Rodgers is getting the absolute most out of his weapons around him, which is exactly what the Steelers need from him, despite their subpar offensive skill position players. And this defense was supposed to be so good that the offense's job was to only not lose them games. Instead though, they've already demonstrated an ability to win them games and carry advantage of every opportunity given to them by that frightening defense when they are firing on all cylinders. And really, that's thanks to the unparalleled veteran savvy of a guy like Rodgers on top of the all-time great talent that he already is. And that's the thing too, week 9 isn't just a flash in the pan, it's a glimpse into the future. This is the level that the Steelers defense is at, and the offense can always do enough to capitalize and get them the win. Their domination of the Colts was both a return to form and a message to the rest of the NFL. The Pittsburgh Steelers are back, and they're a threat like no other.